Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I just wanted to offer some inspiration for how to use this time right now. Saturn is now in Aquarius and we have Mars moving close to Saturn in Aquarius. Mars is right now connected to Jupiter and Pluto. So what does that all mean? Well, we live in interesting times and we are all being called to really be part of this restructuring of our world and humanity. So when we look at this time, this is really about being innovative. Innovative in what sort of way? Well, don't be a mad scientist, please. Keep your robots and all your crazy war weapons to the, throw them in the trash. Because we really need to think about, those are possibilities of Saturn and Aquarius. It's just like mad scientists, nutso butts. And we don't want to go that direction. We want to think about community. We want to think about sustainable living. We want to think about how to be self-sufficient, especially right now with Uranus and Taurus. This is a transit that typically, like I've said in my past video, it doesn't have to be so extreme, but because as a collective, a lot of people are extremely disconnected from the earth. Things are going a little bit wild right now. So what can you do? Well, this is the time to start growing your own food. Start learning about the earth. What is the power of the earth? How does the earth generate food? When we look at what we need to really consider moving forward is everything's a big question mark, but what we can do is we can at least be sustainable and self-sufficient. So if you have any space, you can just start growing a little garden. You can, take your food scraps even and start growing vegetables from those. I know I've seen videos and things on like you growing your own celery, growing your own romaine lettuce. On a wider scale, if you have a land, if you have a front yard, it's really time to be innovative and turn that into a garden. Maybe in these larger places, you want to start turning those parks into places where food can be grown, because we really have to think about being sustainable now at this point in time. Because again, we don't know the future. And what this Uranus and Taurus transit does mean connecting to the earth. So the thing about Uranus is it's so much better when you jump on board with the initiative that Uranus wants you to float down the river with, instead of making Uranus slap you across the face and push you into the river. I have Uranus conjunct my moon, so I'm very comfortable with understanding what Uranus means. When shit begins to hit the fan, I jump on board the boat and I sail down the river with what Uranus wants me to do. And I shift, I let go, transition. A lot of people do that. I'm sure you do as well. So we need to do that now as a collective. We need to say, okay, these structures that we've just accepted as solid and as what we are meant to be a part of are not necessarily going to be serving us in the future. We don't know what the future is, but what we do know is as human beings, we need fresh water, we need food, and we need shelter, right? So, and we need community, all right? So let's take these 4 things that we for sure need. Maybe there's other things in there, you can throw them at me, I don't know. But let's take these things that we absolutely need and let's start thinking self-sufficient. How can we be self-sufficient, self-sustainable as a community, as an individual? Because if we can capture that reality, no matter what, you're going to be fine. When we look at the ancient Greek, how they lived, right? They lived in the polis. So the polis was, a group of people that came together in an organized community. They were self-sufficient, and it was optimum for human development because they had both rural and they had urban. They all had a say in council. So we want to start getting towards this mentality of what is community actually? What does it mean to come together with other people and actually live together? Is it these big cities that we've been existing in, or is that big brother government actually holding you hostage? I don't know. But what I do know is that every time I've lived in nature or I've lived in places where I've been able to have more freedom outside of a city, I've had a better life and I've been healthier. So I don't know, you don't have to take my word for it. Maybe just do what you feel like you need to do. But for sure, we do need to start looking at growing food, in a more sustainable way. You know, having clean water, so make sure you have a good water filter. You know, renewable energy, so maybe if you know, because again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Everything's a big question mark, but what you can do at least is you can prepare. You know, what's wrong with having a garden where you can grow your own food and you don't have to spend money at the market anymore? What's wrong with having a water filter where you can have clean water all the time and you don't have to go to the store and get your jugs or whatever? What's wrong with having solar panels where you can just have renewable energy that is never going to run out, right? So, you know, this time Uranus and Taurus, it's unpredictable. Uranus and Taurus in the past has typically pulled people away from structures that aren't serving them. We look back to, I don't even want to talk about it, but it wants us to connect to the earth, okay? So we really need to just honor that we need to connect to the earth right now, and we really need to come together as a community and set a new standard as far as how we're living. We're only 1 year into this Uranus and Taurus transit, so we have 6 years really to just get this going. And like I said, you know, if we jump on the boat with Uranus, the river is going to be so smooth for us when we start to connect with the earth, start to connect with, you know, the earth's ability to regenerate and the cycles of the earth and what that means for communities to come together and thrive. You know, let's really get back to this set of like sustainable living, homesteading. You know, I was talking to my friend the other day and she was, you know, kind of like, what are we gonna do? And, you know, I was just telling her, well, it's the time to grow your own food. And she said, there's not a greenhouse where she lives. And I said, well, you should probably start that, because if you can get things moving right now and start creating a supply of food for your community, this is where Uranus is trying to get us to go. Okay, it's not about big conglomerate cities anymore. It's not about that anymore. This is not about that. We're creating a new reality as far as how we're going to be living. And so let's just take the initiative. So if you have land, start a garden. If you have a front yard, start a garden. You can grow your own food in your home, right? You can take your scraps and grow your own food. There's videos on how to grow your own food. But let's just start taking the initiative. You know, Saturn's now in Aquarius, so it's all about being innovative, right? Maybe take all those old things that you've had in your house that you've been wanting to like repurpose, and now repurpose them to grow food. Or, you know, maybe we can, if we really want cities to thrive, maybe we can take these old buildings and make them into, instead of, you know, just big towering buildings, into gardens, right? So if we just take skyscrapers, make them into gardens where people can get their food, that's Saturn and Aquarius. We just need to start thinking about innovation. How can we take what we have already and now make it better, right? Because when we look at Capricorn's more of that emperor energy. It's like the pyramid, right? The man on top. Well, now it's Aquarius. So Saturn's in Aquarius. So it's like taking all those structures that we already have in place and now repurposing them for social justice, for everybody to use. So it's time to be innovative with all of these things, because again, we're creating a new reality. So don't just sit and wait for somebody to create it for you, because that's tricky, right? Waiting for somebody to create the reality that you'd like to live, because that's just going to cause you to point fingers and blame. So instead of pointing fingers and blaming at people for not creating the reality that you want to live, take the initiative to be the creator of that reality and get it going, right? Today, right now, today. There's no, I mean, what else are you doing, right? Getting drunk with your friends on Instagram? I don't know. Like, start it today. I don't mean to like preach, but yeah, let's just get this boat with Uranus moving in the right direction, because right now, right, we weren't necessarily listening to all the wake-up calls that Uranus has given us already, right? How long have we had renewable energy available to us? And how many times have we just not really taken that initiative? We've been doing good with like the whole plastic banning thing, but now we need to step it up. All of us have to do this together. All of us have to take the initiative. We can't wait for these, you know, amazing people who are trying to save the planet to just jump on every single thing and make everything better. We have to make it better. And the way that we do that is we come together as a community and we grow food. We have events where everybody gets to, experience a sense of thriving as an individual, whether it be through dance, through music, right? We really just need art, sharing wisdom, storytelling, right? We need to just start evaluating how we're existing and just be honest with the fact that the structures that we were existing in really weren't helping you achieve your optimal human development. And now, in this strange, really weird way, we have this opportunity to really change things and be who we want to be, live the way we want to live. But that's if we really take the initiative now and get moving forward. So if you have lots of money, go buy some land, start communities, not cults, communities, and get food growing, get little tiny homes going. Like if you live in cities and you have the opportunity because you own like a big skyscraper, turn that skyscraper into a greenhouse. Let's really just get innovative. This is going to be an extraordinary, beautiful time if we just all get our minds going as far as like, let's make this world a better place. So yes, talk to your mother, brother, daughter who doesn't believe in sustainable anything and get them to start believing. Let them look at the way that the world is right now and let's just get going. We can do this, human collective. I believe in all of us. Okay, so that's a little bit of astrology for you today. I think I'm going to do some other videos as well. If there's certain topics that you'd like for me to talk about, I do teach classes on energy, so like chakras, gemstones, what is energy, how to protect your energy, how to cleanse your energy, meditation, astrology, Buddhism. I'm a Buddhist. I've been a Buddhist for like 10 years now. And that's changed my entire life. So I have a lot of things there. I chanted for a while there, like at least 2 to 5 hours a day. It was pretty intense, but it actually helped me become really set in my energy and a lot of good stuff. So anyways, if there's certain classes or certain things you'd like for me to talk about, I also know a lot about health and nutrition, cleansing, detoxing, all of those things. So anyways, I want to be available to everybody because sometimes I don't really know what people want to know, but I've spent a lot of my life just studying. I have a Sagittarius moon, and now I'm trying to use my Gemini sun, which is in my 11th house. So here we go, y'all. All right, wishing you lots of love. And you can message me at 11kaivarose33.com. You can find me there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of those lovely things. And yep,